Fear makes strangers of people who would be friends. Shirley MacLaine. It's day 20 of 31 Days to Overcome Fear. I'm Jewel Carter. How many times have we looked at someone and in an instant we made a judgment about them based on their appearance? I'll never forget my son asking me why I didn't want people to know who I was when I was doing radio in Savannah. I never gave it much thought until recently. In an industry filled with egos, why was I content with being the X factor? Why do I prefer it? Well, by now you should have figured out that I often ask questions that not only do I already know the answer to, I really don't want to talk about it. So the asking of the question is merely a stalling tactic. Enough of that. All my life, in my Oprah Color Purple voice, I've heard, "You have such a pretty face." Usually it's followed by, "if only." You know, those agonizing childhood memories. Growing up in the Chicago area, boots were a necessity. And my little big legs were always too big for my tiny little feet, and there was never any boots that I could fit. So early on, I associated shopping with pain and disappointment. And still today, I hate shopping. I think up until my children were in high school, I could literally count on my two hands with fingers left over how many times I'd been inside a mall. Can I say it one more time? I hate shopping. So, if I'm going to have a spontaneous soul therapy session with myself, I would venture to say that my weight has prevented me from wanting to do some things that would put me in the limelight. Okay, I said it. You know, this is one of those things that for me has probably been buried way down deep under all the good jiggly parts. One of the few times I got to go into the recording studio with my dad while they were recording an album was, there was this tall, very thin model type woman in the studio. To this day, I don't know why. I remember overhearing my father make a comment about all them bones. A man needs some meat to keep him warm in the winter. That's my impersonation of my dad. I'm 100% positive that my reason for not being a tall, thin model type has more to do with my DNA than that conversation. I just thought I'd tell you the story. What's interesting, because I just stumbled across this blog, and she talks about being a big girl. Really positive, inspirational. And I go to her Facebook page, and the very first comment I read is someone that says, "Yeah, I saw your blog and your article, and we get it. You're attractive and fat. Good for you. But you do understand that you're a walking disaster waiting to happen. You know, cardiovascular disease, heart disease, diabetes. You can die." As if skinny people don't die. As if thin people don't have heart attacks every day. I'm just over people thinking that everything is for them. You know, here's a big girl that's talking about building confidence in herself or being a big girl, and the first comment I read is someone bashing her, saying, "How dare you, you know, it's great to be confident," but it's so easy to pass judgment when you don't walk in someone else's shoes. It's so easy to have an opinion, especially when your face remains anonymous. And I guess at some point we just all have to get to a place where we just don't care what other people think. It's not about what you think, how you feel about me. It's how I feel and what I think about me. And me losing weight isn't so that I fit into this perfect picture of what you think healthy should look like. Everything isn't for you. If you don't agree with it, turn the page, get off the internet, go do you. I'm so sick of people feeling like they have to chime in on everything. Okay, it's okay to disagree with something, but not everything is for you. Not everybody cares about your opinion. It's not really that important to other people. I mean, it just isn't. Neither is mine. It's just my opinion. Anyway, if I make myself really put an explanation on why, after all these years of trying every imaginable weight loss program out there, why haven't I been successful? Well, the go-to answer is that I'm always highly motivated and I love to work out. It's addictive for me. And as my recent infatuation with that Facebook game Candy Crush would prove, I have an addictive personality. However, without fail, whenever I'm working out, I always get injured, and that stops everything. The truth could very well be that I understand how superficial my industry is, and if I have a fear of success, well, the quickest and easiest way for me to stay under the radar is to keep myself covered up with all the weight. Well, now that I've unearthed the jiggly parts and verbalized what I've been afraid to say out loud, I'm going to end this now with a WTH, do I do now? Because once you know better, you've got to do what? Somehow cry was not the answer I was looking for. Or you, I'm sure. Fear makes strangers of people who would be friends.